We got us a corpse and cartridge occasion.
TGU, aka Tiger Uppercut, is a couple of days away, and we are not sure whether or not we will or will not get a reveal at that event. Some people definitely believe so. Some people are still on the fence, kind of like myself. It could go either way. They could do a reveal or they cannot do a reveal. I cannot confirm. But if they do a reveal, either at that event or potentially whenever they release the final character, announce the final character, players are wondering who it will be. And there's a couple of characters who are in the very likely category. And then there's some characters who's not likely at all. For example, as I was doing a live stream just talking about guest characters, throughout the live stream there was anime showing up saying, what if the last character's Anna? What if the last character's Anna? And the reason why they're saying that is because Harada is talking a lot about Anna on Twitter. Now, I'll show you guys a couple of screenshots of some of the things that Harada was saying as it relates to Anna. But the reason why I think that Anna is most certainly not the character who will be revealed last for season 1 is because what we have seen in the past for Harada is that the character he talks about on Twitter is the character who he does not reveal. For example, remember during EVO when Harada said to get over here and he was like talking about Scorpion in Mortal Kombat for some reason? Everyone thought he was going to show a Mortal Kombat guest character, and then they dropped Heihachi on us. If you look back at many different past instances, Harada will be on Twitter talking about a character, but then he'll reveal another character. And I don't think it's intentional. I just think that Harada's always talking about characters, and sometimes those discussions about whatever character will line up within a reveal, but that may not be who they're planning. What we actually can take away from this is the character he's talking about on Twitter is the character he will not show, because he never showed a character that he was talking about on Twitter a couple of days later. He could do that with Anna, but I'm just saying, looking at everything that we have so far, Anna's not that. Now, if you look at some of the other characters who are very, very likely, I'll quickly touch on Fahkumram. This is a guy we talked to death over the past year, and I'm honestly looking forward to the time where we could put this discussion behind us. At this point, release the character so we could talk about someone else, right? But the reason why this character is so talked about is because he have a mountain of evidence. The most important one is that his motion cap actor, that means the person who does his fighting moves, is credited within Tekken 8. And then you also got to talk about Tiger Uppercut liking a tweet where someone asks if the Fahkumram reveal will happen at their event. Another thing you got to talk about is Harada's little teaser he did. Raccoon Summer, that's Lydia. Koala Autumn is Heihachi. And then Hamster, a lot of people believe that the hamster is related to Fahkumram. Now, there's this very long, detailed breakdown on the Tekken subreddit as to why Fahkumram is the final character. I made videos about this in the past, so I will not spend another 20 minutes going over it. You guys can pause and read if you want to see the details. I'm slowly scrolling through it so you can pause. But there's a lot of evidence in here. When you simply look at the pictures, you can see, one, they're showing the motion actor being credited. Two, they're talking about hamsters are related to Fahkumram. Three, they're talking about how hamsters is a symbol in Thailand, right? That's another thing. Hamsters again. This one's talking about Tiger Uppercut. The tweet is in his glow, like his aesthetic being orange, so it matches this silhouette as well. So you can see there is some strong evidence in here for Fahkumram, but the only reason why it may not be Fahkumram, is because when you refer back to Harada's tweet, in his tweet when Marduk was first leaked, he said a lot of that stuff is old and it will be deleted. And Marduk, we see that is the case. Even though we found 60% of his move list, that guy did not show up when we thought he showed up. Now, Fahkumram could be the same thing. Of course, he leaked a little bit later, but they could have very much scrapped that guy as well. The only thing is the hamster tweet came last. And this hamster tweet, yes, a lot of evidence points to Fahkumram, but also a lot of evidence points to other characters, most notably Kazumi. We had a discussion probably around the same time as EVO when people were talking about whether or not Kazumi would be the final character. It all comes from this tweet here. Now, this is no way confirmation. This is all just ideas and discoveries, the community having a discussion about what could be. This person says, there's a really high chance that the last DLC character is Kazumi Mishima. Why do I think so? During a closed Tekken 8 beta, my friend taxed the person and I explored comment animations for files, which contained 3,500 different animations. They go on to say, notably, Heihachi and Kazumi stood out with an unusual high number of animations comprising of about 60% of their moveset, including an intro and outro animation from Tekken 7. At the time, Reina has not been revealed, and initially I thought these animations was hers. However, when Reina finally was unveiled, it turned out she only borrowed 3 to 4 animations from Heihachi and only one from Kazumi. Given these developments, Kazumi's chance have significantly increased. Now, we have an update to this because the final character, may not be Kazumi. It may actually be Devil Reina using a fraction of Kazumi's moveset. Here's why. For those of you who played the story and you know the new details about Reina, you know that Reina is the last living member of the Hachijo clan. She is a connection to Kazumi. A lot of people say bring back Kazumi, but a lot of people say don't do that. Leave that chapter closed. Tekken 7 is Tekken 7. Let Tekken 8 be something different. Well, what if they combined Reina's moveset, which is a little bit of Heihachi, and the Kazumi's moveset into Devil Reina, and they ship that off as the final character. Another person who brings this idea to the forefront, give credit to Shootsman Thinking, says, just as thought, considering the context of this video, there's a non-zero possibility Devil Reina with some of Kazumi's moveset. This person goes on to say, I take this as a tinfoil hat confirmation. Whenever Devil Reina happens, she will have some of Kazumi's moveset. The final tweet from this person, it says, also, just a reminder that there is currently unused Devil Reina model in the game files. The below is a screenshot from a mod that replaces one of her outfits with Devil Reina form model. 50/50 Devil Reina Fahkumram at TGU ? That is, of course, if they announce something there. So you can see that Devil Reina could potentially be a hybrid between Reina, Heihachi, and Kazumi. And that could be the final character. It could most certainly be Fahkumram as well. There's a lot of evidence to support him. I don't think it will be Anna or any other Tekken 7 character being added into Tekken 8. The only other thing that I think is incredibly likely is for it to be a guest character. A lot of people looked at the 3 characters being huge parts of the story, Eddie, Lydia, and Heihachi, and then we look at the other character being all off on their own. We simply ask the question, why is that? Why would the developers separate the final character from the first 3 characters and also the story? If it was Devil Reina, I think they probably would have tried to use her in the story in one way or another, at least showed her to remind people who only pay attention to the game and whatnot, not the discussion that goes on around it, that aspect of the character exists. So with the final character being separated from the first 3 and also the story, you can argue a lot of players are wondering if this will be a guest character of sort. In my opinion, the ratio of 3 Tekken characters and 1 guest character would be amazing. I do think that Tekken needs to get into guest characters sooner rather than later. We're seeing a lot of other different games that do some crazy announcements and they're getting a lot of hype, a lot of approval. And in this current landscape, I think Tekken could use a little bit of huge momentum. And I don't know if Fahkumram will do that. Devil Reina, she may do that, but you talk about putting another Mishima wave dashing, hell sweeping character into the game. I mean, we have enough of that already. I think the best way, if I had to take my pick on all of these ideas, I say do a guest character. A guest character is the most different from what we currently have and also has the biggest possibility of bringing in an audience, which is what they kind of need in the moment. Final thing I'll say is I do not think they'll do a new character. I think they'll probably save that until season 2 at the earliest.